Hello, welcome back to Average Gamer Plays Factorio. I've been working on this setup for my red circuit factory, and if we zoom out, I don't know if you'll be able to see it too well. You can see it on the mini map at the top there. It's actually taking up most of this octagon, and the way that it's working is I have designed this beacon built. Here we go. I've got this. I had this 12 beacon setup that takes in 960 copper, 1280 greens, 1280 plastics. Now I'll have to double check actually. Let me just get the calculator out and just see. Right, 1280 times, I've got these in blocks of 8. So it needs 10,240 green circuits divided by 4 divided by 60 is, hang on, I did times instead of divided, 1280 times 8 divided by 4 is 2,560 per belt, divided by 60 is 42.6, and we get 45 items on a blue belt. So a blue belt should be able to supply 8 of these stations, is what I was just trying to work out. So we have a similar setup to what we had before with the stations coming in. We've got 3 stations, one supplying copper, one plastic and one green circuits. And they're going to go along these belts and up and sort of into the factory. So the copper comes along this line here. And then the greens and the plastics come along here and get merged onto this line and go in. Through there. So the green and the plastic goes into the red circuit factory, and the copper goes in, and a bit of copper comes into the well, the copper comes into here, and then the copper plate, copper wire goes into there. So what I've had to do in order to get this to sort of line up, let's just have a look at the map. So I had, if I initially had this factory sort of over here, and I might still move it because it'll still fit, but I was trying to work out where I could put another bank of factories, and I had to sort of move that down a little bit. So it will sort of fit. I might have to sort of move the lines up and bring them back down again. I might not like the way it looks. At least this way, the lines are all very neat and you can see what's happening. The sort of, the copper comes in here, and then, you know, these are a little bit of a sort of funky crossover thing because the copper always comes in on the inside line. It's to do with the way that the trains unload, so it's always like sort of copper, green, plastic, and then copper, green, plastic coming down. So it doesn't really matter for the green and the plastic which side of the line they're on, because they get merged in onto the same line to go into the factories. So it doesn't really matter if we've got green and plastic there or plastic and green. But the copper has to go in through the correct set of inputs. So the way I've worked it out is that I'm able to squeeze in 4 sets of 8 factories. So whereas we've got 64 green circuit factories, we've only got 32 red circuit factories in this area, and I think I'm going to need dozens and dozens more red circuit factories. So that only needs kind of hang on, chemical science 5,000. That needs 60 12 beaconed factories to produce the red circuits just for the chemical science. And that is each one of these. Ooh, let's come out of here and let's go in. Each one of these setups is I've got 8 factories there, so each one of those is 64, isn't it? So one of these factories will be enough to supply the red circuits for the chemical science, but obviously we're going to need red circuits for lots of other things as well. So I might still need 2 or 3 of these setups in the factory. But again, once I've got the whole blueprint sorted out, I can just paste it down inside an octagon and then we're fine to carry on. So what I still need to do here is wire up the trains to take everything back out again, which shouldn't take too long. But I'm thinking, instead of me building all this manually, we have a look at the coverage of a robo port. If I set up a couple of robo ports, if I set one up if I put one down there, that one will still cover. I'll do another one over here anyway. I'll wire these up. I might have to have that one slightly sort of off center there. Let's just put that one actually in so that it connects up. So if I then put another one put it down there, it'll be within range of that substation. That's what I was going to say. That one down over there. See, now these, I have a look at the map and I have a look at logistic network. See, that covers quite a large area. I still need to have some more roboports in down there, but if I put enough roboports in, I can have the bots build all this. Basically, instead of me running around and forwards and backwards, I'll just have the building train going forwards and backwards, and I can get the bots to start building this. I might have to put in some substations manually so that the roboports are powered, but that is not the end of the world. Let's just have another one down there. Let's have that one in the middle there. Oh, I'm out of roboports. So I'll have to manually put some construction bots into these, because I haven't really got that many over here. But let's put down, we'll have it over here. We'll have a rails building train unload. I think that is going to have to go that away because that's where the line is facing. Plonk that down over there. That's over there. That'll go over there. Let me turn on my Roboport, and we'll see how much of this we get built. Of course, they can start building little bits and pieces over there anyway. Now, I don't have any arithmetic combinators on me. I'll just let my robots sort of carry on building whatever they can over here, because I've still got a fair amount of stuff on me anyway. How do I make arithmetic combinators? I need some copper cable, some electronic circuits. I've got some electronic circuits. I can get some copper quite easily off one of the other trains. Now, I've been looking into another mod which I think I'm going to install. I've not done it yet. I've done a little play around with it on a test world, and it's a mod called LTN Cleanup, and it lets you set a trash station basically for LTN trains that have to leave, because I'm getting a lot of the trains backed up here, and the reason for that is let's just pick up some stuff out of there, a couple of stacks of that. The reason for this is that I've set LTN so that the trains stay put until they're empty. The problem is that half the train empties and the other half doesn't, because the factories are working at different speeds. By default, when you set up LTN, the trains are set to leave after 2 minutes of inactivity, which means they end up going back to the depot with items still in them. So what this mod does is it sets up a trash station where the trains will go if they've still got stuff in them after they've unloaded. So you still set a timer, so the trains will unload or will leave after kind of 10 or 15 seconds of inactivity, even if they've still got items in them. And then I've set I can set up this trash station to accept certain items, and then it can be unloaded into other stations, which will then act as further provider stations once they get enough stuff in them. And it'll probably be the next episode where I set that up, but we'll see how we get on with this. Right, do I... I've put down some arithmetic... Oh, I turned my Roboport off, didn't I? Yes, so now we should make those arithmetic combinators. We don't have any red storage boxes, we don't have any... Right, so we're still missing red storage boxes, filter inserters, actual combinators. Right, let's head back to base and just pick up some of those items. Right, I'm now back. Let's just move him out of the way. Right, let's get this powered up. Now then, we'll rename this station to be Building Train 4 Red Circs. And oh, we haven't got any want to pick up some constant combinators, so let's just make a few. I did pick up lots of construction bots, so we'll just stick all those in there. We'll stick a few more in there. Oh, to make sure I've still got turn my Roboport off. Right, we will need, let's have 300 belts, 50 undergrounds, 50 splitters, and the train will have to keep sort of making lots and lots of journeys forwards and backwards. I'm not sure if we need any of these. We'll have 100 of those. Medium power poles, I'm not sure. We'll have 50. Long-handled inserters, I'm not sure. We'll have 20. Assembly machines, we need quite a few. We'll just have 50 of those at a time. We'll have 100 of those at a time. We'll have 100 of those. Out of this one, we'll have 300 rails. Don't need any actual locomotives. I'll have to make logistics train stops manually. I don't know if we've got one of these stations. I've got substations on, but I don't know which one it is. And I don't think we need anything off that. So, is this now active? It will be once I allocate the train to it. So let's go back to the building train. We'll add a station. Building train for red circs. Till 5 seconds of inactivity. And it's on its way. Now let's just stick that into manual mode for a minute. So that station is the one with the substations on it. So there we'll have substations, and we'll have 10. And we'll just grab I don't want to have sort of too many construction bots in the area. I think this is going to be enough because it's going to get built. You can go back into automatic mode. So the idea is that once it all gets built kind of down to here, and then these roboports here get powered, then it'll just carry on expanding and building the next section. And then the train will just keep going forwards and backwards to build stuff. That is slightly out of range of there, so let me just manually put that down there. That'll be powered. That's now powered. So hopefully, if I've got enough bots, and I'm not going to sort of spam it with roboports because they'll get charged up eventually. That will then take everything there back to base. Cool, so I can now concentrate on putting down further ghosts for the pickup stations. Now, while I'm designing this, I don't necessarily want the bots to be building it all, just in case it doesn't quite work. So It shouldn't be too difficult though, because I've got each of these outputs. So I've got basically 4 red belts coming out of each one. So the 8 red belts will merge into. I'll have an 8 to 8 balancer. Right, this is what I'm going to do. An 8 to 8 balancer. Kind of over here, and it's going to be I can keep it as blue belts. I don't need to, even though the belts coming off the thing are all red, I can feed those into there. So we'll have copy that, put that down like that. It'll mark these trees for destruction instead of using the undergrounds to go around them. Yeah, no, that's right. I could slightly reorganize these belts because I've got these coming down to go back up again. It's slightly inefficient. I might sort of tweak that a little bit. It is slightly inefficient, isn't it? So what I could do is something like that. Alright, am I requesting beacons? I'm not sure I am. Right, you can stay here for a minute. Beacons. I'm not sure how many is on the train. 60 at the moment, I think. So we'll request all the beacons that's on the train. Just see if this will go in as is down here. Not quite, because I've already got some of those lines in there. Let's just take some of those up. Plonk that down there. Now, I don't know if there's red. I might have to just build the red lines myself. Let's Let's just help out a tiny little bit. I don't think I'm putting red belts onto the building train because I wasn't really using that many. And that's all them used up. Okay. Has the Spidertron got any? He's got a few other bits and pieces though. No red belts. But I can still use the Spidertron to help. Right, that's got power, so if I put another RoboPort down there, connect it up, but it's not connected to anything else, is it? One over there it will be. There you go, that one comes online. So it's still connected, so this top half down here should start getting built. Yeah, basically I mean there's tons to do. Now I haven't actually tidied up these lines along here like I could have done with the like I did with the green circuit factory. So if we've got 4 lines coming in, so we can have those 2 lines feeding that. And then some of these can come out, you see. And then those 2 lines feeding into there. Oh, come on. We do something like that. And then we can have something similar here. Okay, so I've done a little bit of playing offline. I've got a lot of this built now, but we're still short of beacons. I've had to run back to the main base a few times to pick up red belts and red undergrounds. Is there a belt missing there? No, that's fine. I'm still trying to help onto the other side. Yeah, we're still missing, I think, 3 or 4 red undergrounds and a lot of beacons. So I shall get those sorted out. The beacons are coming on the train every so often, and the undergrounds I'll have to run back for a few more of those. Now I'm going to just downgrade. I'm going to have all red belts, I think, just leading onto the train, because these factories just output on red belts. So we will do a right, let me clear some of this stuff off. We want to do basically a downgrade planner from blue belts to red belts, blue splitters to red splitters, blue undergrounds to red undergrounds. Just swipe that over there. I need some more undergrounds. And we'll do the same at this one down here. Now then, let's have a think about, so we've got 8 lines coming out here. 2, 3. Didn't even see that entity there. Right, 4 of those, 4 of those. What is that doing? Is it still going to wander off? Oh, it's going to pick up a tree, okay. I thought I'd cleared all the destruction things from there, but apparently not. Now, we're going to need a LTN load. We might as well have it on the same. So this is going to be... It's going to even be as close as that, can't it? So that's going to be a provider station, but it's going to be for 64,000. And obviously it won't do anything until we hook it up to some line somewhere. So let's just copy all that, including the end of that there. And we'll paste it down up here. So we've just basically got all these red circuit factories just filling basically 2 trains. I think that goes down to there. Well, that's interesting. Ah, Okay. That doesn't look like it's got the line of splitters there. Belt balancers. 8 to 8. It should indeed have a line of splitters. Okay. What happened to those? Right, let me just turn this off for a minute. It looks like I'll have to move this whole thing kind of a couple of pixels to the side, which is annoying. Okay, so that sort of worked eventually. Right, let's go and fix the other one, which should be a lot easier because it hasn't started being built yet. Now, the only problem that I can see with the way that I'm setting up these red circuit trains, is because there's only two I can foresee a lot of places in the base requesting red circuits. And if there's only two trains providing them, then there might be a shortage of red circuits, not because of how few we're producing, but because of how they're being loaded onto trains and how many trains are going to be available for them. So that's something to bear in mind. I might have to tweak the trains a little bit. I mean, all the trains that I'm doing are 3/8 trains, 3 locos and 8 wagons. Now, it might be more efficient if I change the red circuits to run on like 1/4 trains, but that means I'll have to set up a separate depot for 1/4 trains. But it might also be that blue circuits will be better on a 1/4 train as well, because we don't produce those in the same sort of quantities as greens, for example. So yeah, we'll have to see. I think there's enough red circuits coming out of this factory to fill a train, but I don't know how often it'll be able to fill a train until I've done some I'll run the max rate calculator thing over it, and we'll see what it says. I think each line produces 896, and I've got 16 of them. That's 900 times 16 is 9,000, and then 9 times 6 is 54, so about 1,440 red circuits per minute. 14,400, maybe 896 times, well, 900 times 10 is 9,000, so it's going to be more than that, isn't it? Right, so let's just, that's interesting. So right, so I've got a station here and a station here. Now, I could turn that round so that the station's at the bottom end and have it all feeding out along this line, like I did with the green circuits, just have one up there and one down there and have them all feeding out over there. I don't know if I'm going to have enough room. I'll have to do a slightly different, you know, do this sort of style of stacker instead of the diagonal one. Yeah, we'll do that because it's easy enough to take that. Take that up for a minute. Run that down there so that it's got power. LTN load opposite. And if I just plonk that down on top of... Oh, that's interesting. It's... it doesn't line up, which is now going to be a little bit more annoying because I'll have to move. Yeah, everything there is getting filled. Okay. Okay. We won't bother with that. We'll put the original station back down. And we'll just do the we'll just do the stacker differently. Right, we're still missing 361 beacons, which isn't so bad because we were missing like nearly 600 a while ago. So let's have a think. So we need to have we can take the train line up there. We can have a rail curve there. Was there already a signal there? It was hiding behind the tree. Okay. That is a set of tracks long enough for a train. Right. Yeah, so that needs to sort of come out. Yeah. How am I going to get this to feed out again? It might have to be some kind of complete mess. I've already got a rails in at the bottom here. Right. Now I can get rid of these robo ports here because... oh, hang on a minute. Are we out of power? I wonder if the solar panel is not producing any electricity. Yeah. We're in a situation where we're running out of power overnight. I thought that if I built this with enough... Interesting. I thought if I built that with enough accumulators it would keep going day and night. And I thought we were only using like sort of half to 2/3 of the power that it could produce. So were we in a situation where now that I've put down all those you know, that red circuit factory, that's now tipped it over the edge and we're using more power than we're generating? Or is it that we're actually spending so much energy kind of charging? The accumulators don't have enough time to charge during the day. I thought they always did though. Anyway, what I was thinking about was running a line from here going across this way, so all the trains, whether they're delivering or picking up, would come into the factory on the bottom here, and then they'd run up and go into a stacker here and then into this line here for this station. And then both lines again would go out in the middle, even if it meant sort of having yeah, so we'll have a line going across there, like we did with the other one. And then we might have to do something funky with the stacker going in and have the stacker kind of just cross this line here. You know, and have this sort of just go across there. So, I mean, it looks a bit of a mess, but the trains will come up along here. They'll go either into this stacker to go to this station, or they'll come along here and go into this stacker to go around to this station. And then both will come along and round and out and exit on this line here. I mean, it'll work, and as long as it works, I'm not bothered. So for now, I will say, see you next time.